Rama Rama Hare Hare. The mercy of Sri Gaura and Nityananda. The two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that they introduced a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hari Hari, without any motive. My dear brother, just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them, even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. But Lochan Das regrets that I am entrapped by sense gratification. Since I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, then Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This is a song by Lochan Das Thakur. Pahu means Lord and Duwijana means two. Lochan Das Thakur declares that the two lords, Nitai Gaurachandra, Lord Nitai and Lord Chaitanya, are very merciful, Parama Karuna. Taba Avatara Sara Siromani. Avatar means incarnation and Saba means all. They are the essence of all incarnations. The specific significance of these incarnations is that prosecuting their way of self-realization is simply joyful. Kevala Ananda Kanda. 4. They introduce chanting and dancing. There are many incarnations like Lord Ram and even Krishna. Hear that one? There are many incarnations like Lord Ram and even Krishna who taught Bhagavad Gita, which requires knowledge and understanding. But Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda introduced a process that is simply joyful. Simply chant and dance. Therefore, Lochan Das requests everyone, Bhaja Bhaja Bhai, Chaitanya Nitai. My dear brother, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. Don't think that this chanting and dancing will not lead to the desired goal. It will. It is the assurance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one will get all perfection by this process. Therefore, one must chant with firm faith and conviction, Vishwasya Kori. But what is the process? The process is Visaya Chariya Se Vase Majiya. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. That is the only restriction. If one gives up sense gratification, it is sure that he will reach the desired goal. Mukhe bolo Hari Hari. One simply has to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, without any motive of sense gratification. Eko ore bhai tribhubane nai. Lochandas Thakur says, my dear brother, you just try and examine this. Within the three worlds, there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda, because their merciful qualities are so great that they make even birds and beasts cry. What to speak of human beings? Actually, when Lord Chaitanya passed through the forest known as Jarikanda, the tigers, elephants, snakes, deer, and all other animals joined him in chanting Hare Krishna. It is so nice that anyone can join. Even the animals can join. What to speak of human beings? Of course, it is not possible for ordinary men to induce animals to chant. But if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could inspire animals to chant, at least we can encourage human beings to adopt this path of Hare Krishna mantra chanting. It is so nice that even the most stone-hearted man will be melted. Pashana means stone. It is so nice that even stone will melt. But Lochandas Thakur regrets that he is entrapped by sense gratification. He addressed himself, my dear mind, you are entrapped in this sense gratification process, and you have no attraction for chanting Hare Krishna. Since you have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, what can I say? I can simply think of my misfortune. Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. Sri Gaurnitai ki jai, Sri Lochandas Thakur ki jai. Very wonderful song by Srila Lochandas Thakur, explaining the merciful nature of the two lords, Nitai and Gaura Chandra. Prabhupada, he first sang this song in Atlanta. He was traveling all over the places, South America, and then when he reached in Atlanta, in USA, he said to everyone that, I think your temple is the best. You see, most of the temples, the center or the main deities are Sri Radha Krishna or Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. It's like in San Francisco, the main deities are Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. But in Atlanta, it's very unique. The main deities are Gaurnitai. They're in the middle. First is Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, and then Gaurnitai, and then Radha Krishna. And actually, when he addressed the devotees, usually when Prabhupada would come to the temple, he will give an address. He rarely spoke, not even 2-3 minutes. And he broke down when he says that these two merciful lords have come. We're so fortunate. So there is what he called Avatari. Lord Krishna is Avatari. Avatari means he is the source of all incarnations. But then there is what you call Avatar Krishna. Says here also, isn't it? We've heard it. There are certain incarnations, specific incarnations like Lord Ram or Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So when he left Vrindavan going to Mathura, Ilkamsa, or going to Dwarka, that is not the Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. That is expansion of Krishna. But that is Krishna also. But that is called Avatar Krishna. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Avatari. He's none other than the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachisuta Hoilo Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. There's no difference. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the source also of all incarnations. And Lord Nityananda, who is none other than Lord Balaram, is the first expansion. Is also none different than the Supreme Lord. The only difference is that Lord Balaram is white and Lord Krishna is blackish. The mood is different. Lord Nityananda is the servitor Godhead. He's the Adi Guru, the original spiritual master. So, Srila Prabhupada says that our movement is only enjoying. Haribo. Like that. Our movement is only enjoying. What? Because we only dance. Chant and dance. Take prasad. Talk about Krishna. And when we're tired, we take prasad again. Chant and dance and talk about Krishna. It's like that. So what is the difficulty? Kirti Prabhu, he wrote a book, right? Prabhupada says that, what is the difficulty? So he named his book, What is the Difficulty? Actually, there is no difficulty. Difficulty is how we apply this process of Bhakti Yoga. How we apply this process to our everyday activities. There's no really difficulty because only enjoying, simply joyful. There is no defect in the process, and the process is perfect. But the defect is our application. How? Because we don't want to give up our material desires. That is the problem. We have so many material desires. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that in chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it is natural in the beginning to have so many material desires. It is unnatural to have no material desires right from the very beginning. Is there anyone like that here? I want to raise their hand. Anyone? Not me. Yes, this is our nature. Having coming in contact with the material energy, our eternal nature is that we want to enjoy the material world. So we have many material desires. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that in chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, if one has material desires and he doesn't want to give it up, he will not make any advancement. He will not move an inch. Spiritual path. However, he says that to have material desires, but is willing to give it up, and hoping and praying that someday I will all want to give them up, then there is a hope for that devotee. The hope for that devotee is that he will make progress because he's willing to give it up. Are you like that? Yes? So there's hope for everyone. Oh, materialists. Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur gave a meaning of a materialist. A materialist means I will enjoy to the highest limit all my life, material sense enjoyment. That is a materialist. A devotee who's aspiring to go back home, back to Godhead, he knew that if I don't give up my material desires, it'll take me many, many lifetimes. It is like in a yagya, you're trying to build a fire, right? What do they put in the fire? Ghee, right? Now, what if you put water? You'll be able to make fire? No, you kill the whole. No what? No fire. So similarly, it's like that. When we perform bhakti, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that we should be so eager to hear the transcendental glories, fame, form, qualities, name of the Supreme Lord. This will enable us to give up our material desires. This is a qualification. If one is very eager to hear the Harikatha. So, Sava Avatar Sarasirumani. Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is none other than the Supreme Lord. And they introduced this process of simply, joyfully chanting and dancing. Right from the early morning, as soon as we get up, we want to go and see the Lord, and we just want to chant and dance in front of Him. That's why people say we are crazy. Who on earth can you find people like this? People, they have to take some medicines to wake them up, or some coffee, or something to perk them up. But for us, no. Prabhupada says here, don't think that this chanting and dancing will not lead to the desired goal. Is this amazing? The Gornitai, Radha Parthasarthi, Lalita Visakha, Sisitaram, Lakshman Hanuman Ki Jai. This is what he called Traivedya. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, this is what he called Traivedya. Traivedya means knowledge. There are three kinds of knowledge according to the process as enjoined by the Vedas. This Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. Karma Kanda means following rules and regulations, because not everyone is in the same good quality. Some in the mode of ignorance, some is in the mode of passion, and some in the mode of goodness. So those who are more in the mode of ignorance and passion, if they want to enjoy, because this is the nature of this world, to enjoy materially, then there are certain processes whereby one can follow. And if they follow according to the Vedas, then they'll make advancement and ultimately attain going back home, back to Godhead. That is the purpose of human form of life. The goal of human form of life is to reach our destination, to go back to the spiritual world. So in the Karma Kanda section, it is mentioned like that. One has to do certain ritualistic ceremonies, and then by following it accordingly, then one can elevate himself. And there's what we call Jnana Kanda. In Jnana Kanda, they study the Vedas, they philosophize, but they're armchair philosophers. They don't do any actions. They just want to talk. And because the Vedas mainly deal with this very, very flowery language, very attractive, then they miss the point. Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedya vedantakrit vedavit eva chaham. Lord Krishna is the focal point. Needs to be understood when one studies the Vedas. They just become gyanis, speculators, and then they miss the point. They just want to go to the heavenly planets, so to speak. So Then there is what you call the Upasana Kanda section. The Upasana Kanda section of the Vedas means worship of the Supreme Lord, but mostly worship of the demigods. Because they want some material desires, and certain demigods can fill their desires. Like if one wants good education and learning, then they may worship Mother Saraswati. If they want good health, they will worship Surya, free from disease. If they want some wealth, then they worship Kuvera. But if they want everything, who will they worship? Lord Krishna. So, that's why it says that I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. It is very much needed. Don't think that the chanting and dancing will not lead to the desired goal. It's very simple. There's a purport in the Bhagavad Gita that in Bhakti Yoga, it is one stroke only. Everything is accomplished. In the different parts of the Vedas where it says that, oh, you do this, then you'll attain that, you'll do this and attain that. But then they'll miss the point, they miss the goal, and it takes them a long time to do it. It is very strenuous, and it's not really joyful. It's not susukam. Not susukam kartam abhyam. For them, it's just like just trying to touch the nose, but they have to go like this. So it'll be difficult for them, right? But for us, when we do bhakti, just touch the nose immediately. Do bhakti, one stroke. It is the assurance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one will get all perfection by this process. Have faith in this. That's one of our defects also. We don't have so much faith. Our faith will increase more and more, especially when we follow wholeheartedly the instructions of the spiritual master. This is our identity. We are servants of our spiritual master. If one has always this conviction and always has this mentality that I am a servant of my spiritual master, who is a representative of the Supreme Lord, then by pleasing him, guarantees Krishna will be pleased. Isha prasadat bhagavat prasado, isha prasadat nagati kutopi. Then, only then will understand that whatever I do is specifically for the pleasure of Lord Krishna through spiritual master. It says here, Prabhupada, it is so nice that even the most stone-hearted man will be melted. Pasana means stone. It's so nice that even stone will melt. This is the result when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra purely. Then our stone-hearted, stone-like heart, not just even stone-like heart, you can even break it, maybe metal. Stone, they can be melted, or they can wear out if you have like few drops of water. Have you seen that? And water is very soft. How is it that the water can make some markings or imprint or wears out this stone? What to say of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra sincerely? And this is one of the main problems. We don't put too much emphasis. We don't value it really, the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. We think that, oh, I was told I have to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I agreed to my spiritual master that I have to chant at least 16 rounds minimum. And that's it. Like the contract. But we don't understand how valuable this chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because The whole spiritual world is in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We don't have so much faith that if I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra purely, attentively, as soon as possible, then my existence will actually become so successful, and my preaching, my talking with others, my convincing about others will be very, very successful. It's very convincing. Yeah. We don't have taste for chanting. We don't have taste for hearing. We sleep during the Bhagavatam class. We sleep during the Japa class or Japa meditation. I don't have taste for reading the scriptures. I rarely open Prabhupada's books. I would rather read the Gita Press books. I would rather read other books besides Prabhupada, because now in our movement there's so many books. You go to Louis Bazaar in Vrindavan, you'll see there how to attain your spiritual form, Siddha Swarup, without chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra sincerely. Do you think that is so easy? Just by reading books, you'll attain love of God? By other books besides Srila Prabhupada? No way. Not possible. No possible. That is our disease. Otherwise, bhakti will be very difficult for us. It'll take us many, many, many lifetimes to reach the goal. And this is what Lochan Das Thakur is saying. He regrets that he is entrapped by sense gratification. Now, sense gratification or lust can come with prestige, wealth, and women. This is what I call lust. Attraction to women, attraction to accumulate wealth, and attraction towards having one's position not be dismantled, or to go higher and higher in position materially, is lust. The most difficult is that, prestige. A sannyasi can give up women, can give up wealth, but sometimes a sannyasi may not want to give up his position. He's thinking that he is a sannyasi, or he wants to become a very, very well-known one. But our goal is not to become a perfect sannyasi or whatever. Our goal is to become a pure devotee of the Lord. You understand? A devotee of the Lord, fame follows. He does not want fame. Look at Madhavendra Puri. When he was given this sweet rice, as soon as he was given the sweet rice, immediately he thought that I have to go, I have to move on. Because if everybody knows that sweet rice was given to him, he'll be crowded and he'll be worshipped. Immediately the next day, he went to Jagannath Puri. But the news went so fast to Jagannath Puri that before he arrived Jagannath Puri, everybody knows about Madhavendra Puri, that when he arrived there, he was so famous and everybody wants to help and worship him, that easily he procured the sandalwood and camphor. Everybody helped him. My dear mind, you are entrapped in this sense gratification process and you have no attraction for chanting Hare Krishna. Actually, pure devotees of the Lord, they actually feel this. It is not that they're doing this only for the benefit of conditioned souls like us. Prabhupada says that they actually feel this. A pure devotee of the Lord, he actually feels that he's not a devotee. A pure devotee of the Lord, he sees everyone as a devotee except himself. A neophyte devotee, he sees himself as the only devotee and everyone is less than him. A neophyte devotee, he sees himself as the topmost and everyone should worship him. Since you have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, what can I say? I can simply think of my misfortune. This should be our mood. We are very fortunate, Prabhupada says. One should be proud to be a devotee of the Supreme Lord. But one should not be too proud that one will not tell others about Krishna. That he will only think of himself. Then, that being too proud will not last that long. I can simply think of my misfortune. Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. Hare Krishna. So we stop on this one. Which one we're going to read more? We have time? Any questions on this? So far? Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Text 23, chapter 14, Adi Lila, Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes. Tabe kata dine kaila pada chankramana Sishogani mili kaila vividha kailana. After some days, the Lord began to move his legs and walk. He mixed with other children and exhibited various sports. Ekadina sachikai shandesha aniya Batabare diya baila kauto bashiya. One day, while the Lord was enjoying his playful sports with other little children, Mother Sachi brought a dish filled with fused rice and sweetmeats and asked the child to sit down and eat them. Ita baligila sachi grihi karma karite Lukana lagila sisumiti kakaite. But when she returned to her household duties, the child hid from his mother and began to eat dirt. Teki sachidana aila kariya haya haya matekade lanakahe matikena kaya. Seeing this, Mother Sachi hastily returned and exclaimed, "What is this? What is this?" She snatched the dirt from the hands of the Lord and inquired why he was eating it. Kandiya balena sisokene kararosa tumimate ka ite dele mora kibidosa. Crying, the child inquired from his mother, "Why are you angry? You have already given me dirt to eat. What is my fault?" Text 28. Kaisandesa anayate ka matira bikara ehomate sa sehamate kibeda vichara. Fused rice, sweetmeats, and all other eatables are but transformations of dirt. This is dirt, that is dirt. Please consider, what is difference between them? Mate deha mate baksha dekara vichare, avichare deha dosha ki balite pare. Thus you can, sure. Okay, mate deha mate baksha dekara vichare. Avichare dehe dosha ke balite pare. Mate deha mate baksha dekara vichare. Avichare dehe doshe kabalite pare. Mate deha mate baksha dekara vichare. Avichare dehe doshe kabalite pare. Okay, I'll just do it myself. Mati, dirt. Deha, this body. Mati, dirt. Vaksha, eatable. Dikaha, just try to see. Vichari, by consideration. Abichare, without considering. Deha, you put. Dosha, fault upon me. Ki, what? Balite, to say. Pari, I am able. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This body is a transformation of dirt, and the eatables are also a transformation of dirt. Please reflect upon this. You are blaming me without consideration. What can I say? Purport. This is an explanation of the Mayavad philosophy, which takes everything to be one. The necessities of the body, namely eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, are all unnecessary in spiritual life. When one is elevated to the spiritual platform, there are no more bodily necessities, and in activities pertaining to the bodily necessities, there are no spiritual considerations. In other words, the more we eat, sleep, have sex, and try to defend ourselves, the more we are engaged in material activities. Unfortunately, Mayavadi philosophers consider devotional activities to be bodily activities. They cannot understand the simple explanation in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, text 26. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena shevate sagunan samatityaitan sa brahma bhuya kalpate. Anyone who engages in spiritual devotional service without motivation, rendering such service for the satisfaction of the Lord, is elevated immediately to the spiritual platform, and all his activities are spiritual. Brahma Bhuyaya refers to Brahman, spiritual activities. Although Mayavadi philosophers are very eager to merge into the Brahman effulgence, they have no Brahman activities. To a certain extent, they recommend Brahman activities, which for them means engagement in studying the Vedanta and Sankhya philosophies. But their interpretations are but dry speculation. Lacking the varieties of spiritual activity, they cannot stay for long on that platform of simply studying Vedanta or Sankhya philosophy. Life is meant for varieties of enjoyment. The living entity is by nature full of an enjoying spirit, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra 1.1.12, Anandamaya Vyasat. In devotional service, the activities are variegated and full of enjoyment. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.2, all devotional activities are easy to perform, susukam kartam, and are eternal and spiritual avyayam. Since Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand this, they take it for granted that a devotee's activities, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, etc., are all material and are therefore Maya. They also consider Krishna's advent in this universe and his activities to be Maya. Therefore, because they consider everything to be Maya, they are known as Mayavadis. It makes sense, right? No, it doesn't make sense. Actually, any activities performed favorably for the satisfaction of the Lord under the direction of the spiritual master are spiritual. But for a person to disregard the order of the spiritual master and to act by concoction, accepting his nonsensical activities to be spiritual, is Maya. One must achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the mercy of the spiritual master. Therefore, one must first please the spiritual master, and if he is pleased, then we should understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also pleased. But if the spiritual master is displeased by our actions, they are not spiritual. Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur confirms this. Yasha prasadad bhagavat prasado, yasha prasadad nagati kutopi. Activities that please the spiritual master must be considered spiritual, and they should be accepted as satisfying to the Lord. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the supreme spiritual master, instructed his mother about the Mayavad philosophy. By saying that the body is dirt and eatables are also dirt, he implied that everything is Maya. This is Mayavad philosophy. The philosophy of the Mayavadis is defective because it maintains that everything is Maya, but the nonsense they speak. While saying that everything is Maya, the Mayavadi philosopher loses the opportunity of devotional service, and therefore his life is doomed. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised Mayavadi Basya Sunile Haya Sarva Nasa. CC Madhya 6, 169. If one accepts the Mayavad philosophy, his advancement is doomed forever. So why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching Mayavad philosophy to his mother, Mother Sachi? Yes. He wants to hear from Mother Sachi what Mother Sachi will react. And actually, this is just like sometimes if you want to teach a child, you teach the negative things for the child to learn what not to do. Right? That is another way of teaching others what not to be. Teach them what they should not be. The Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching this Mayavad philosophy to Mother Sachi for us not to be Mayavadi. Prabhupada says Mayavad is more destructive. It is more dangerous than Buddhist, the Sunyavadis. Sunyavadis means void. Lord Buddha came to dissuade the followers of the Vedas, of the Karmakanda section of the Vedas, because they were killing animals. So he taught this non-violence and says, don't follow the Vedas. But then Sankaracharya, who is none other than Lord Shiva, came to tell that yes, we should follow the Vedas. Went back again to the Vedas, but then ultimately he concluded that the Lord has no form. That the form of the Lord is a product of the material energy. And everything Devotional service, serving to the Lord also is Maya. The Lord is Maya. Everything is Maya. If everything is Maya, what you're saying is also Maya. So why should I believe you? Yeah? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wrote a book of 100 ways how to diffuse or refute these Mayavadis. It would be nice to read that. It is mentioned also that one should not read that Sariraka Vasya, this book by Sankaracharya. Even Sankaracharya is not a Mayavadi. He just profound the philosophy of Mayavad, but he's not Mayavadi. He even says in the end, Bhajagovindam, 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 Mudha Mate. That what is this your word jugglery at the time of death? You just worship Lord Govinda. Yeah, the Mayavadis, they don't have a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam because there's no way you'll be able to avoid glorifying the Supreme Lord in the Srimad Bhagavatam. They have Bhagavad Gita, but they misinterpret. This is the problem with the Mayavadis. They misinterpret the Vedas. Devotees, they don't misinterpret the Vedas. Devotees, they take the Vedas as it is. So here in these pastimes, the Supreme Lord himself, as a young boy, he directly took earth to compare and tell Mother Yasoda, what's the difference? Your Sandesh is also made from earth. Everything is here is made from earth. So what is the difference if I take this earth? It's the opposite of Lord Krishna's pastimes. That the cowherd boyfriends, they were complaining to Mother Yasoda that he took dirt or earth, but at the same time, just to please Mother Yasoda, he opened his mouth, and instead of seeing dirt, Mother Yasoda saw the whole entire universe and everything. So, Srila Prabhupada says that anyone who is interested or eager to know the Mayavadi philosophy, his life is doomed. We're not so eager. We're not eager to know the Mayavad philosophy. If it comes, we read it. Right? No, is anyone here doing some research of what is Mayavad philosophy? No. We do research. What is Bhakti Yoga? Right? We study about Bhakti Yoga. We don't study Mayavad. Unless, if you have to give like let's say a university lecture, and the topic is about this impersonalism, then maybe you'll do a little bit of research as a comparative study between devotional service and impersonalism. But usually we don't, because it says there that even a Mahabhagavat, even a person who is on the highest level of bhakti, if he reads these commentaries of the Mayavadis, especially this book, Sariraka Vasya, one may be doomed. His life in bhakti will be finished. I met one Mayavad, and of course there's a lot of them in Vrindavan. First time I came to Vrindavan, usually they travel not with the electric scooter. Now you see electric scooters, or this auto rickshaws that has still diesel on them. Now in Delhi, practically none, isn't it? Now it's CNG. Usually they have this tonga, this horse driven. Is that what you call Tonga? Yes. So I jumped in a Tonga from Chatikara, and there was this one sannyasi, I would say, because he's wearing saffron. But he has his tilak like this, instead of Vaishnav tilak. So he asked me, where are you from? So I told him where I'm from. And then he says that Krishna does not exist. There is no Krishna. Just one's imagination. Can you imagine that in Vrindavan? Everyone is supposed to be a devotees of Lord Krishna there, right? That's why when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he went to Vrindavan for parikrama, he says, I don't see any devotee here of Lord Krishna. That was 1930s. What to say now? The other day also I met one of the leaders. There are two kinds of Jains. I met this one person who he's the leader of one of the sections of the Jains. You know, Jains, they have this, like something, yeah, in their mouth and in their nose. But this one has plastic on it. I don't know what they used to do before, maybe a cloth. But now it's Kali Yuga, so they use plastics. And I asked him, so what do you meditate upon? Because they meditate on colors. Colors, different colors, like red, white, blue, whatever, different colors. And I asked him, so what is your goal? Oh, our goal is to become free from dualities. Like and dislike, hate, anger, all of this. And then what do you achieve after? Then you go to the spiritual world. What do you become? Well, then you become one with the Supreme. You become one with everything. This is the goal of the Mayavadis. The Mayavadis, actually, their goal is like Sayuja Mukti. And for the devotees, Sayuja Mukti is considered as hellish. One may be given different kinds of liberations, or 5 of them, to reside in one of the planets of the Supreme Lord, Sloka, to have the same opulence as Supreme Lord, to have the same features of the Supreme Lord, to be a constant associate of the Supreme Lord, and to merge. And this is the goal, to become one with everything, because everything is one anyway. This is their philosophy. Mayavadis are like this. One time Prabhupada tell a story about a Mayavadi. He's depositing money to the bank or something. And the teller, he knew that this is a Mayavadi. So now your money becomes mine, because everything is one anyway. It's not your money anymore. Or one devotee, he defeated one Mayavadi in Kumbh Mela. He has a nice chadar. He says, this thread and the whole chadar is the same, because everything is one. So then the devotee says, okay, give me your chadar. Everything is one anyway. So this, I give you one thread. I'll take your chadar and I give you one thread. It's the same, right? So no. Give me my chadar back because it's cold. Right? So their philosophy is there's a lot of discrepancy, because it is a sense enjoyment for them. There's no activities. Prabhupada says if you merge into Brahman, which is their goal, because there is no activities there, then you come back again down here, because there's no Ananda. In spiritual life, there is a lot of variegatedness. Enjoyment. Variety is the spice of enjoyment. There is some variety. There are so many things. We're doing many things. Somebody making garlands, somebody doing puja, somebody cleaning the floor, somebody preaching to light members, somebody doing book distribution, somebody doing the accounts, somebody distributing prasad. And it's all bhakti yoga. Everything is one. Everything is bhakti. So without variegatedness, then there is no happiness. And this is the beauty of devotional service. So life is meant for varieties of enjoyment. This is our nature. Anandamaya Vyasat. We're meant to be happy. We're not meant to be nothing. Or we cannot become Narayan. The Mayavadis, when they attain liberation, for them, they consider one as equal to Narayan. It's like the head of Jain that I met. He said that when you attain liberation, then you become like Narayan. But he talks about Bhagavad Gita. They use Bhagavad Gita. He's very good in preaching Bhagavad Gita. I gave him a Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Hopefully, even by touching it, he'll become a devotee someday. So, not possible to be no identity at all. We are all individual souls. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, specifically when he says that you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, be happy, tell others about the same process, actually will be able to understand our real nature. One thing for sure that I understood, that I'm, an individual soul. I may not be able, I can tell right now, fully understand that I'm not this body, but I understood that we're all individuals. We all have this individual identity when I joined the Brajamandal Parikrama. Have you joined the Brajamandal Parikrama? Anybody here? Full one, the full one, not 1 day or 2 days, but the full one. It's amazing. You'll be able to realize that actually everyone is equal in the eyes of Krishna. No one is higher or lower, but one may be closer or more intimate. But you'll understand and respect every individual because you're an individual soul. It's one of the realizations I understood when I joined that Brajamandal Parikrama sometime in the 1990s. But the Mayavadis, no. They don't accept this individuality of the soul. They accept that everything is one. I become one with everything. Even though that everything is one, ultimately that one is nothing. And that nothing I become when I become one with nothing. There's some fallacy. There's some fault in this. So we're so glad and we're so happy that somehow or other we've been saved by the sloth of this Mayavad philosophy, by the presence of Srila Prabhupada every day. For them, these deities of the Lord are material. It's Maya, because it's made of material energy. But for the devotees of the Lord, they have a special relationship with the deities that they can talk with the deities and the deities can talk to them. This is the difference. They think and they say that these deities are a product of material energy, therefore what you're doing is Maya. This is not proper. This is product of material energy. So therefore, please continue on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, sincerely, attentively, without any offenses, and sooner we'll be able to understand the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and our relationship with Him. That is our goal. That's why we are here. That is our only goal, nothing else. And everything is in there. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yes, 1 or 2 questions. Marathon is over, so maybe 1 question or 2 is okay.
Like you are saying that this variegatedness is the spice of life, and that is enjoyment.
Yes.
But we are chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yes.
There is no variety. I mean, every day we are chanting same mantra.
That's right. But the result of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is that you do many, many things. You understand? The sadhaka, that means a person who's new practicer of Krishna consciousness, and a Mahabhagavat. the one who is in the topmost level of devotional service, both chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Why? Because, as I said earlier, in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the whole spiritual world is inside. And the Mahamantra is not material, it's not mundane. So it is Nava Yovanam, ever fresh. It's always fresh. It's like the weather right now is fresh. You don't want too hot or too cold. This kind of weather is very good. So Mahamantra is always fresh, and the result actually of Mahamantra is variety. So many activities to please the Supreme Lord. We may say it every day, but every day is always fresh. We do the same thing every day. We do Guru Puja, we do Mangalartik, but this is spiritual. This is spiritual. A Babaji, one who is always chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he cannot say, what is this? I have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra all the time. But the pleasure is there of chanting if you understand that there is no difference between Krishna and the holy name. The problem is when we tend to think that the Mahamantra is material. Then we say, oh, what is this? No taste. This is material. No. That is the difference. A devotee is always seeing Krishna every day fresh. The holy name always fresh. The devotees always fresh. Materialists, they don't want to see each other. They don't want to do the same thing again and again every day. It's tasteless. They go to work 9 to 5. They go to traffic of Delhi, one of the worst in the world, every day. A devotee also goes for preaching, but he didn't say, oh, I hate this. Does he say like that? When he go preaching and go through the traffic, I hate this. No. He considered, oh, I like this because I'm going to meet a new person to tell about Krishna. So we do the same thing again and again every day, but it is always fresh. It's always wanting to be. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like that also. And especially in the time of japa. That is the most important time. Because that's the time when you meet Krishna. A specific time given when you will meet Krishna. And you always looking forward for that time. Isn't it? It's not that, oh no, I have to chant my rounds again. This is what to do. Okay, I finished my rounds. Put it here. Okay, what else to do? You know, it's not like, that's not our mood. That's not our mood. As much as possible, we try to chant as many rounds as possible. Not just 16 rounds. So this is the mentality of a devotee. A materialist, everything he does is like, oh no, I have to do this because I have to do this. So that I can enjoy a little bit of sleep, and a little bit of food, and some sense enjoyment. But he's sick and tired of this world. A devotee's outlook is not like that. I met some people who says, I don't like what I'm doing, but I have to do what I'm doing. A devotee is like that? Huh? Rakesh Prabhu? Is that our mood? That, oh no, I have to do this again. No. That's why you become dear to Krishna. You are determined. You are one-pointed attention. This is in that mam cheyo biyabicharena. You are only focused on Krishna. You don't focus on anything else. If you become focused on many, many things, then Krishna is not as happy. Okay, we stop here.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank
Hari
you.
Hari. Lochandas Thakur ki. Hare Krishna.